Okay, let's get it cracking today. Let's get it cracking. There we go. There we go. Man, it's Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? And we here, we are here on this beautiful Wednesday. Make sure we live. Yo, we are live and boom. All right, I'm just trying to make sure that I got volume. And then as long as I know I got volume, we ready to roll. I'm just trying to make sure that I got volume. I knew it. All right, we good. Man, it's Wednesday, our favorite day of the week. Probably not gonna be. I promise you, I'm not gonna be on here long today. Maybe a half hour, if that. Um, yeah, I'm excited as always to be here on Wednesdays. What time is it? It's 10:29. We gonna get started. We don't. I didn't got a lot to discuss today. I just wanted to hop on, um, and just check in with everybody, make sure everybody was doing okay, and so yeah, it's 10:30, man. You already know. Welcome to another wonderful, wonderful episode of Whole, Healed, and Healthy. Um, yeah, what I mean, we missed last week. We are currently in the process of doing a few home renovations. Um, so I was kind of hesitant to get on today because I just didn't want the background noise to be in the recording, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yeah, so we've been doing some home renovations upstairs, but you already know upstairs if it's a little banging going on, things like that, it can be picked up. And I didn't go. I wasn't here last week because of that. We had some drilling, getting some things going on upstairs. So, and they're still here today, this week, probably be here for the next week or so, just finishing up. But anyway, man, I just definitely want to get on today, and just show my face and see everybody, those who are going to pop on, those who are going to catch the replay. We probably won't be on very long. Won't be on very long. Just a quick little pop in, quick little checkup, just to see how everybody's doing, man. I hope your week has been great. I hope your last week was great. I hope this week has been good so far. You know, I missed y'all, of course. I missed y'all last week. And I said, I can't go another week without saying something. And I didn't even say anything last week, um, that I wasn't going to be on, but it's all good. We here, we live, and we're going to get started. So, again, welcome to another episode of Whole, Healed, and Healthy. You already know it's me, the unlicensed therapist, where we just discuss, um, we would discuss real life. We discuss, real life situations. Use that with the Bible to help us just navigate this thing called life, because life, at times, life's for all of us. And one thing that I know is that if you have a community with you, if you have people by your side, if you have people you can lean on, if you have a safe space, it just makes that life a little bit easier. So I'm glad that I can be a safe space to some people, and I'm glad that you guys can help to be a safe space for me as well too. So, man, we're not gonna be here long, probably maybe 20 minutes, just a little check in. So this month is June, which y'all know. So shout out to June. June 1st was Sunday. Um, Two great things happened in June. Number one is my birthday is next week, and number two, Avery's birthday is next week as well. So we got a lot of celebrating to do this month. So we're excited about that. And something else that is happening in June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. It is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Um, and that's another reason why I hopped on today, because I didn't want to miss the opportunity to start this month off with just talking to some of my brothers, man. Yo, fellas, I just hope that this month that we take some time and really, put the work in on ourselves. This month is geared towards our mental healthness, our mental awareness, just knowing where we're at mentally, emotionally, and just being aware of what we're going through. So I just want to encourage all the brothers, yo, like this month, man, take some time to put the work in. Do the work. Take some time to say, hey, you know what, I'm not okay, and if you're not okay, that's okay. Take some time to process your emotions. Take some time to, if you got to cry, go ahead and cry this month, man. I'm excited because I'm working on some content that's strictly geared towards men's mental health. No, so no knock on my sisters. I'm not forgetting about the ladies. But this month, I want to make sure that we lean in and pour into our brothers, that we're able to be the best us for everybody else. If I'm not the best me for me, then I can't be the best for anybody else. And I know right now that there's so much that has been happening in our communities, just in the world, but specifically in our own communities that we see. And I just feel like we're needed. We need some strong black men to stand up and be leaders right now. And the only way that we're going to be able to be leaders is that if we know that we are okay mentally, emotionally, physically, that our health is, that we're in good health, that we're doing the things, that we're doing the work to make sure that we're staying healthy, to make sure that we're staying healed, and to make sure that we're staying whole. So this month, I'm excited. I've already got it planned out. I'm putting the finishing tweaks on some of the episodes and just working on getting some content out. Hopefully, 4 or 5 times a week, just getting some more content out here, because I really want the fellas to lean into their mental health this month, because it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and that's all June. So I'm gonna be encouraging our brothers, man, that that we step up to the plate and that we lead the charge in this thing with being healthy. You know what I mean? That we lead. Good morning. My wife is on here. It's you know what I'm saying? So she out of town, but when she in town, she ain't never on. No, I'm just joking. But it's good to see you. I miss you. You know, can't wait till you come home. But I just want to encourage us all to continue to put the work in, that we do the work that's necessary, that we can be the best us, so that we can be the best for somebody else. So it's Men's Mental Health Awareness. I don't know why I'm stumbling and jumbling on that. But again, like I said, I have some content that I'm working on. I have some podcast episodes that I'm working on that are geared specifically towards the brothers. You can't, I'm not forgetting about my sisters, but I want to make sure that the brothers know that it is okay for us to process our emotions. It's okay for us to talk about things. It's okay for us to not hold everything in. It's okay for us to let it out, because we have to. Because what tends to happen is that if we don't process our emotions in a healthy way, it tends to come out in ways that are unhealthy. A lot of us may turn to drinking and drugs and anger and rage, and it begins to come out in other ways. So I want to make sure that I do my part to encourage my brothers, because I've been in a space where I've been depressed, and I've been in a dark space where I didn't recognize myself. Again, I've shared a lot on this, that, hey, like on the outside, I was smiling. On the outside, I was showing up, I was doing the work, I was coming to work, I was at home with the family, I was going to church. But on the inside, I didn't know who I was. I was depressed, I was in a dark place, I was in a really scary place, and I didn't want to be there. And it wasn't until Randy was like, yo, like, you have to do something different, because this is not you, and what you're doing is not healthy, and it's not going to help anybody, and you're really hurting yourself. And so, I decided to go ahead and put the work in. I decided to go to therapy and really work on the things in me that I knew that I had to work on. So I just want to encourage you, like, if you are in that space, if you are in a place where, would you say, when I'm in town, I'm always working. I know I'm just picking with you. But I just want to encourage you. And again, this is an encouragement to everybody, but especially to my fellas, to the brothers. Put the work in, reach out. There are so many resources available. That, hey, like, it's really no more excuses for us, because we know that there are resources available for us to help us work on the things that we need to work on. I don't want to see any of us go down any path that we don't have to. And as black men, I was just saying, as black men, we've been conditioned and taught, that black men don't cry, that we don't cry, that showing emotions is weak, that crying is weak, hold it in and bottle it in. And we've just been taught that our whole lives, and we see that, like, if you cry, they laugh at you. If you show emotions, they call you soft and all types of other things. You know what I mean? And that is not the case, because when we do that, we are teaching us to suppress our emotions. And then when you suppress it, at some point, it's going to come out. And when it comes out, it's usually not in a good way. So I'm just encouraging all my fellas. Like, today I don't really have anything scripted. I don't have anything planned. I was about to go to field day, but I just got a text message that said, because I didn't volunteer for field day, I can't come. So I'm kind of disappointed in that. But I will get the recap and the replay from Avery when field day is over. But again, I don't really have anything scripted today. I just want to do a check in and just make sure y'all doing good, man. Just make sure everybody's doing well. We're going to pick up strong next week, and we're really going to lean heavily into Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, which is June. Again, I'm going to keep saying that, and we're going to lean heavily into that, and really, just really encourage the brothers. If you're on here and you know a man and you have a man in your life, whether it's your father, your uncle, your cousin, your nephew, your boyfriend, whoever, just a friend, anybody in your life who is a male, encourage them to take control of their mental health. Encourage them to take control of their spiritual health. Encourage them to take control of their mind, of their thoughts. What's up, Twan? Hey, man, we got work to do, bro. It's time. It's time. But encourage them to take control and to be the initiator of all things mental health for them. Because if you don't take control of it, then nobody else will. And if you don't take control of it, then eventually it will control you, that you will be moved by your emotions. You will be moved and controlled by your thought patterns. And so if we don't have healthy thought patterns, if we don't have healthy thought cycles, that eventually we are going to move in ways that are not good for us, in ways that harm us, in ways that harm others. And I'm tired of seeing my brothers harmed. I'm tired of seeing my brothers, go down these paths of harm and hurt and sabotage. We're great, man. God created us all to be great. We all have destiny. We all have a purpose. And we have to take control of that. And honestly, that was going to be some of what I was going to talk about today. When I was working on the script, but I'm like, you know what? I ain't even gonna go. When I was working on what I wanted to talk about, was about, taking control and taking back the narrative of your destiny, taking control of your future, taking control of the things that you control. I've been reflecting a lot, just on my life, up until this point. And this week, I've just been extremely, over the past 2 weeks, I want to say I've been extremely grateful, and just thankful where I am in life. Sometimes you got to stop and smell the roses. Sometimes you got to stop and take a look at where you're at, and say, you know what, God, I've made it thus far. I made it this far, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful. I may not be where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. And I know that's just the old cliche that we say in church. But if you take some time to really look at where you're at, and how far you've come, you can see, like, man, like, I've come a long way. And so I was just reflecting about, there's a scripture that says, do I got it? I think I got it in my phone. But there's a scripture, in the Bible, Isaiah 60:22. It says, the smallest one will become a clan, and the least one a mighty nation. And in the end says, I, the Lord, will hasten it in its time. There's another translation that says, that God will make it happen in its time. Let me see if I can find that one, because that's the one that we all say. There's another version that says, I'm the Lord, in this time I will do this swiftly. But I was reflecting on that verse and just thinking about, and I was reflecting on my musical journey, just where I've come as a producer, and just making music. And it's all gonna make sense. So just walk with me for a second. And I was just thinking about how I always thought that, at a certain stage in life, where I would be at a certain place. I always thought that I was gonna need certain things to achieve certain things in life. I always felt that music was going to be the catalyst that was going to provide me a lifestyle for my family. You're right. I do need a reader, I need a reader. I always thought that music was going to if you was here, you could read for me. You know what I mean? So hey, but you're not here. You're not here. All right. But I always thought that music was gonna provide me this lifestyle, from not only for me but my family. And I've always thought, and I had a plan that I would be at a certain stage in my life. I would be at a certain place in my life with music, right? And I'm not gonna say unfortunately, but I will say that some things didn't pan out the way that I thought they would, because I always had this notion that I had to have all these people with me, and I had to always, look out for everybody. And if I was going to make it, that certain people and certain things were attached to my destiny, to my ending, to the end all be all for me, to my destiny. Um, and and as I began to reflect, I said, man, like, nobody's in control of my destiny but me. Nobody's in control of the choices that I make but me. Nobody's in control of my emotions but me. And so I was thinking that I had to have these people attached, and me and certain people were always going to be together, and it was going to be, ride or die, like your day ones, like forever. And I love that mentality. I love that mindset that I'm always trying to find ways to look out for people who I love, to look out for people who've rocked with me from the beginning. But one thing that I begin to realize is that sometimes we keep that mindset of that mentality, and then we miss out on what's for us because we're too concerned or too worried about disappointing those who are with us. That, hey, if I move on, it's gonna feel like I left you behind. And that was my mindset for a very long time. And y'all probably saying, well, what does this got to do with anything with men's mental health? It's got a lot to do with it, because I allowed those thoughts and that mindset to keep me crippled to where I wouldn't do certain things, and I wouldn't make certain moves, or I wouldn't take certain risks, because I felt that if I took this risk, that, yeah, it could advance my career, but what about the people who were with me? Um, and so I feel like there are certain things that I may have missed out on because I just kept a mindset that I had to please everybody, because I am a people pleaser. I am a recovering people pleaser. I no longer want to please people. I only want to please God, and I want to make sure that the things that I do are pleasing to Him. I don't want to please people anymore. And so, as a people pleaser, I will find myself putting people's feelings and people's emotions before mine. And that was really hurting me because I wasn't happy about some of the choices that I made. I'm saying all that to say this is that you are in control of your destiny, of your emotions, of your thoughts, of the things that happen in your life. Yes, we know that God has a plan and purpose for us, a plan and purpose for all of us. But I am a firm believer that God will work within the space that I give Him. If we say that, the Holy Spirit is a gentleman, and that, God won't supersede our will. So I truly believe that God will work within the space that I give Him. And if I don't give Him anything to work with, then there's nothing that He's going to work with. You know what I mean? But if I give Him things to work with, then He'll work on that. So I'm saying all that to say that I no longer please people. You know what I'm saying? I'm a recovering people pleaser. And so because I just kept everybody's feelings before mine, I often made choices that were not in the best interest of me, but were always in the best interest of others, right? And a lot of those others are no longer in my life. A lot of those others are probably no longer in your life. So I encourage you to take control of the things that you control. I encourage you to put yourself first. Yeah, it sounds selfish, right? That's a selfish thing to say. Oh, I'm putting myself first. But in reality, if I don't choose me, then I'm really hurting me, and I'm hurting others. Because if I'm hurting and we're all and everybody's moving, but I'm hurting, I'm not being the best me that I can be. Sometimes you have to choose you. That's a selfish thing to say, but sometimes you do have to choose you. So in June, to all my fellas, all my brothers, I want you to choose you this month. Choose you. Do something for you this month. Prioritize your health this month. That's all I'm telling you to do. And that's all I'm trying to say with saying all that, is that I had to learn to prioritize me. So as I begin to prioritize me, just over the past month or so, so many doors have opened in my life that I probably would not have walked in had I not chose me. Had I continued to put the needs of others before me, I probably wouldn't have made some of the decisions that I've made over the past month or so. And in that, I've been able to meet and create and connect with some amazing people. And I'm excited about where this is headed, where this is going. Because for the first time in my life, I chose me, and I'm okay with that. And I want you to be okay with that too. Be okay with choosing you. And so going back to that scripture where it says that God will make it happen in his time, I feel like just because it didn't happen when I wanted it to happen doesn't mean that it wasn't supposed to happen. There were probably, I know that there were a lot of factors in my life early on that I probably wouldn't be here today if certain things would have went the way that I wanted them to go. The word, the Bible says, that's what God says, that in his time he will make it happen. And I'm paraphrasing that scripture, but that's what it means. So don't feel like you're out of time. Don't feel like you're not in the right timing. Sometimes the reason why things don't happen for us in a certain time frame is because we're not ready. The people around us are not ready. The people who are with us may not be the best people for us. The circumstances that you're in may not be the best circumstances. You may not be mature enough to handle what's coming. You may not be mature enough to handle the places and the spaces that you're going to be in. So because God knows that, and sometimes I think that we know that, but we just don't want to admit that, because now looking back, I understand that I probably wasn't mature enough to be in certain spaces. I wasn't mature enough to be in certain conversations. I wasn't mature enough to be a part of certain group circles because my mentality wasn't there yet. I wasn't mature. I hadn't matured to the place that I am now. And I'm not saying that I'm arrived, but I know that I'm not who I was back in 2009 and 2010, 2011. So I'm saying all these things to say is that even though it didn't happen then, certain things are starting to happen now. And those things I believe are happening now for me because I chose me, right? I put me first. I did not put the greater good of others around me first. You say, how can you say that? Well, I can say that because in my life, again, this is my life and things that I've gone through. And I know that there are people out here who are like me, who want to see others succeed, who want to see others win, who want to see everybody make it, who want to see I love seeing people win. I love celebrating people. I love when I see people achieve their goals. I love when I see people achieve the things that they feel that are for them. But for so long in my life, I've pushed others and I never pushed myself the way that I pushed others. And so the moment I begin to say, you know what, I'm going to take control and I'm going to push me the way that I need to be pushed, certain things in my life begin to happen. So I'm saying that to say this, that prioritize you, fellas, brothers, listen, you can prioritize you and still look out for others. Because if you're doing something for somebody else and it's hurting you, then you're not a priority, and it's not good for you. You don't want to do anything that's harmful to you. You don't want to do anything that hurts you. You don't want to do anything that sets you back. So sometimes, again, we talk about setting boundaries, saying no. Fellas, we got to learn to say no sometimes. Hey, I can't do that. This ain't for me. You know what I mean? Like, no, I would love to do that, but right now in this time, this is not for me. That's not for me. So prioritize you this month. Again, I'm excited about June because number one, like I said, it's Avery's birthday, my birthday. So those are two great reasons to be excited already. And number two and number three, one and two, and this is number three. That is it's mental health month for men's. Wow. It's men's mental health awareness month. And I just want us to be so aware of who we are as men, who we are, how God sees us, how great we are, that we don't have to believe the lies that have been said to us, that I don't have to believe the word curses that have been spoken over my life, that I don't have to believe the things that have been said over me. Again, you don't have to believe anything that does not line up with who God says you are. God calls us all great. God created us to be great. And black men, we are amazing. We're great. We are capable of doing any and everything that we put our minds to. But I want us to make sure that as we accomplish our goals, that we are in a mindset that we can handle what's coming. You know what I mean? We can handle the things that are coming. We can handle where we're at. We can handle the circles that we're in. We can handle our emotions well. We can know that, hey, it's okay to not be okay. I push that. I say that because these are certain things, not just in the church that we were taught, but in some of our communities that we were taught, in some of our spaces that we were taught, that men don't cry, that crying is a weakness, that you're soft if you cry. You know what I mean? I had a few others. But what, that we don't talk about our emotions, that we don't talk, men don't talk, you know, we're just robots. And I don't want to be in a robot circle anymore. I don't want friends who are robots. I want friends who are real life human beings who breathe, who have emotions, who feel, who are empathetic, who are sympathetic. You know, I don't want robots anymore. I don't want any robotic friendships. I don't want to be in any robotic working relationships, anything like that. I want real people, real friends who are okay with talking about their, like, you ain't got to talk to me about it, but I encourage you to find somebody in, to find a safe space, to find a safe place where you can work through and process, whether that's through therapy, whether that's just finding somebody to talk to, whether that's through something that you find therapeutic. Music for me is therapy. Like, man, I love getting down here and just listening to music. I'll play music. I'll just sit on and think around on the piano. If I'm not creating tracks, or if I'm not working with an artist, I'll just come down here and just sit. Just sitting in my studio for me is therapeutic, because it's just a place where I can come and close the door and let it all out. You know what I mean? So I encourage my men this month, yo, find something. If it's golf, if it's basketball, like if it's working out, like these are things that help to release stress. You know, you got to find healthy stress relievers. Like, we don't always have to turn to alcohol. We don't always have to turn to sex. Come on. We don't always have to turn to drugs. You know what I mean? We don't always have to turn to rage and anger. There are healthy things that we can find that help to relieve stress. We don't always have to turn to things that can potentially become harmful. You know, I don't want to always, you don't always have to turn to taking shots and turning up, because that lifestyle it gets played out. I love a good time. I love hanging out. I love having a good time, but I also know that that can become detrimental to my success. That if I'm turned up all the time, if I'm hanging out, if I'm always on one, you know what I mean? Like, now every time I'm just ready to roll. Like, I'm just always on one, and I get it. I enjoy. Trust me, I enjoy having a good time. If you around me, if you've been to anything that I've done at the crib, around, just around our family, yo, we gon' have a good time. But I understand that, yo, like, I have to have balance in my life. So I'm encouraging my brothers, yo, like, really take some time this month to take a analysis of your life. Take an analysis of where you're at. YOLO, you already know. Is YOLO. We out here. When me and Randy go on vacation, hey, we go on vacation. Avery is with Mimi and Nana and her cousins, and mommy and daddy is out here. One of my aunties, every time she sees us, because Randy talking about YOLO, she always talks about our vacations and how she's living vicariously through us. And I ain't gonna say what she be saying, because she out of control. But I mean, and I love it, because it just lets me know that, hey, like, we're out here, we're gonna live our life, and we're gonna live it to the best of our ability, and we're gonna live it, and we're gonna do things that we love to do, and we're gonna enjoy each other. And so, yeah, I encourage you, yo, like, I love a good turn up. I love a good cousins party, whatever. But I also understand that I can't do that so much, to the point where now I'm tired all the time. I'm depending on certain substances to get me throughout the day, throughout my week. Come on, man. Let's just keep it 100. Let's be real. Like, we have to take control of not only our mental health, but our physical health as well, our physical state. So many of us are leaving this earth early, like dying at 40 and 41 and 42 of heart attacks. Like, that's wild, to be 42, and you die of a heart attack. We have to be more healthy. We have to take control of these things. And I push that. And I'm talking to myself, because I enjoy a good double quarter pounder, right? But I know that I can't eat those every day. I can't eat fast food all the time. I can't do it. I have to take control of my mental, my physical, and my emotional health, my financial and my spiritual health. The fivefold ministry. You know what I mean? That's my fivefold ministry. My mental health, my physical health, my emotional health, my spiritual health, and my financial health. I have to take control of those things. So as we lean into that this month, I said I was only gonna be here for 20 minutes, and it's going on 30. So I'm about to roll out. As we lean into that this month, I'm encouraging my brothers. I just want to encourage you, yo, do the work. It's worth it. It's worth it. Do the work. Process your emotions. Work on the things that you know you need to work on. Don't worry about nobody else. Don't worry about how you look. Don't worry about if people call you soft and funny, whatever. Like, don't worry about that, because I want to be the best me that I can be, the best version of myself that I can be. There's so much that God has in store for all of us. And I don't want to live beneath how I should be living. I want to live up at or above where I should be. I don't want to be beneath where I'm at, because if the Bible says that God created me in his image and his likeness, then I'm created to be royalty. I'm created in the image and likeness of God. There is a part of me that is like God. There's a part of me that is like God. Yeah, I said it because that's what I've been created, in the image of God, in the likeness of God. So therefore, I know that there are things in me that I do that are beneath me, right? It's not that I'm better than anybody. It's not that I'm better than this person or that person, or saying that we're like all uppity and stuck up. No, what that means is that there are certain things in my life that I do that are beneath my privilege, right? That are beneath the privilege that I have as a child of the Most High, as the child of God who created me and called me to be great. So when I do things that are beneath my privilege, now it's like, well, I'm living beneath my means. It's like the prodigal son. When he ran away, he took his inheritance and he ran away, and then he's eating out of the troughs that the pigs eat out of. And it wasn't to that moment that he looked around and said, man, even the servants in my father's house are eating better than me. My daddy was a king. My daddy is great, is basically what the prodigal son saying. And here I am eating with pigs. I'm royalty. You're royalty, right? You are royalty. You are created to be great. So if I'm sitting here eating with pigs, and this is just a metaphor, so don't think I'm saying that we out here eating with pigs. No, a metaphor, doing things that are beneath my privilege. I'm doing things that are beneath who I've been called and created to be. Now I'm not living my best life. And I don't want that for me. And I definitely don't want that for you. So I want us all to take control of our mental health, our physical health, our emotional health, our spiritual wealth, and our financial health. That's my fivefold ministry. I know what the Bible says about fivefold ministry, but this is my new fivefold ministry. And I'm going to take control of that. So this month, I want you to tune in. Listen, this is what I want you to do. If you know a brother, tag them in this video and tell them, hey, it's time for you to jumpstart your healing. It's time for you to jumpstart being healthy. Go to my website, www.wh2.org, and I want you to sign up for the wellness journey, where it's just helping you to jumpstart your mental wellness. It's helping you to jumpstart your wellness. It's helping you to jumpstart creating healthy habits, right? So do that. Use that. That's this month, June. I'm gonna be pushing that. I'm gonna be plugging that. Y'all gonna be tired of me. Y'all already gonna know. It's gonna be everywhere. Everywhere I'm at, that's where it's gonna be. www.wh2.org. Go to the website and sign up for the 5-day challenge, for the 5-day journey. I don't want to call it a challenge, but the 5-day journey to jumpstart your healing. Man, we gotta be healed. We gotta be whole, and we have to be healthy. Not just for everybody else, but for ourselves. These young men need to see example. I had great examples growing up of men in my life who were great fathers, who were great role models, who did things, who taught me. My dad taught me, my uncles taught me. I had older cousins who taught me. And that's missing in this generation. That who are the young men looking to? They're looking at us. We the new aunties and uncles now. And if we are always crashing out, it's the crash out generation. And I don't even like to use like the terms and all that, but it's the crash out. It is what it is. It's the crash out generation. Like, people crash out before anything. And that is a sign of not being mentally stable. That is a sign that we are not in control of our emotions, that we always go to crashing out. I'm tired of seeing people crash out over the smallest things, right? We have to help this generation. We have to help these young men, these young women. They gotta see that, yo, like, yeah, I'm unk now. Like, that's crazy. I'll be 42 next week. Lord willing, I see next week I'll be 42. And I realize that I'm unk now. Like, my nephews call me unk. That's crazy. Like, I remember being 20, 21, and 22, talking to one of my uncles, and he like, I'm telling you, the way that you talking to me is the way that my son gonna be talking to you. And it's like, it's crazy, right? But life happens. And I remember those conversations, they stick with me. Having those conversations with my uncle and just talking about life, and he's just schooling us to what life is, and how to move and how to operate, and having conversations with my father, who's teaching me how to be a man, who's teaching me how to be a husband, who's teaching me how to run a home, who's teaching me how to be financially responsible. Now, again, I'm telling you, did I always make the right choices? No, but I have those conversations that live in my mind, that live in my heart, that help me anytime I need something. I can pull up these conversations. I can pull them up and say, oh man, I remember that me and my dad talked about this, or I remember that me and one of my uncles talked about this, or I remember that me and one of my cousins talked about this, right? It's been a blessing to have examples in our lives. And now I know that I have to be that for this next generation, not just for Avery, not just for my child, but I have cousins and I have nephews, and we're in the community, and the community needs to see us. My uncles used to run a basketball tournament every summer, and the community knew them. They knew us. They knew them. They respected them. They looked at them, and when things happened, they would call on them. And now it's our time. It's our opportunity to, as my uncle, another one of my uncles would say, that he's handing us the baton. And what are we going to do with it? Are we going to drop it? Are we going to run with it? Or are we going to run with it? We're being handed the baton, and it's time for us to take that baton and not just walk, but to run with it, to really make an impact in our communities, in our families, in our circles, to say, hey, like, yo, like, there are still integral, honorable men in this world. And that starts with us by just taking control of our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual health, our physical health, and our financial health. The fivefold ministry. Fivefold ministry. We have to take control of that. So I just want to continue to encourage you. I'm out of here. It's 11:04. I said I was only going to do 15 minutes. And then once Randy told me that I couldn't go to field day because I didn't sign up, I said, oh, I got time. Just like a preacher. You tell a preacher that they got an extra 5 minutes and they're going to take an extra 20. That's how you know I'm a preacher, because that's what I'm going to do. But I just want to encourage everybody on today. Again, I had something I was working on over the last couple of days. And then, like I said, I actually wasn't really gonna come on and say anything because I was going to field day. I said, I'm just get on here, just, just say what's up. And then when she was like, oh, you can't go to field day, I'm like, oh, well, I might as well just stay on for a little bit longer. So again, I was working on something, then I scratched it because I wasn't gonna do it. But this month I am working on again. I have some stuff that I'm working on for our mental health for men, for my brothers, for the brothers. We got to step it up, y'all. So also, man, while you're on here, man, make sure y'all go to YouTube, go to Twine on his Facebook, go to Twine, make sure y'all subscribe to his YouTube channel, because he's got some great things coming. If you haven't already, make sure y'all go do that. Encourage, and just big up one another, man. Like, encourage one another. So I see Twine, I don't know if he's still on here, but if you get an opportunity, make sure y'all go check out his Facebook and YouTube page, subscribe to his YouTube channel, and follow him, because he's got some great things coming, man. And I'm excited for him, and I can't wait to be a part and just see what God does in his life, man, where God takes him, because your story matters. That's something that I put on my website, that your story matters, that you're important, like your story matters. It's not just about one person, it's about the collective, and your story matters. What you went through, what you survived, it matters. People need to hear that. So I encourage you to just take control of your life. You control. I know you say God's in control. Yes, God is in control. But understand this, that he gives me free will for a reason. I have the opportunity to make any choice in this life that I want. And I want to encourage you that today, that you choose life, that you choose to say, you know what, I'm not crashing out. Don't crash out when you get to work. Don't crash out when you at that stop sign. Don't crash out. Definitely, bro, I got you. Don't crash out when you get to work. Don't crash out at that stop sign. But take control. Take a moment to press pause. Again, I talked about my sister. Y'all see, I'm always plugging the people in my life because they're doing great things. My older sister wrote a book called Press Pause. You got to press pause on some things. Sometimes you got to press pause and say, you know what? I can't go there with you right now. Again, all this stuff y'all hear me say all the time, but these are the small tools that you put into a big tool bag so that your tool bag has everything that you need. Your tool bag has all the tools that you need in it. Yeah, these are small things, but yeah, I need this small wrench just as much as I need this big pipe wrench because they all serve a purpose. What you say is once in a while. Oh, that's their little joke. Don't do my boy like that. Don't do my boy like that. But yeah, you get these tools, and yep, you hear me say that. You hear me repeat things over and over. You want to know why? Because certain things that I know that I've learned, they were repeated to me over and over and over for years. For years, you know what I mean? For years. And so in order for me to unindoctrinate myself with the things that have been indoctrinated into me, I have to start to repeat. And I don't even know if I just probably just made up a whole word. But in order for me to set myself free and to have a new mindset, I have to repeat things over and over. It's the power of repetition. I have to repeat them. I have to say them because I want to unlearn so many things that I've learned, not just in church, not just in a church setting, but in our communities, in our families, in our environments. There are certain things that we've learned. A lot of the things that we've done and that we do were just for survival. Come on, man. I wasn't gonna get on here where I was or just because we had to survive. And so in order to survive, we had to do certain things. We had to live a certain type of way. We had to act a certain type of way just to survive, just to get through. Come on. But we don't want to just survive. And I said that before. We don't want to just survive anymore. We want to go from surviving to thriving. That I don't have to be in survival mode. A lot of us, all of our lives have been survival mode. If we want to be honest with it about it, a lot of us in certain situations have just been in survival mode. I no longer want us to be in only survival mode. Come on, I want us to thrive. I want us to be intentional with the things that we do, intentional with the choices that we make, not making choices out of instinct, not making choices that say like, if I don't choose this, then something bad is going to happen. No, let's set ourselves up so we don't have to continually make choices out of instinct, that we can make choices and be intentional with the choices that we make, right? We want to be intentional with it all. So I'm going on 45 minutes. It's 11:09, right? I got to bounce. I don't have nothing to do. I'm hungry. I'm going to make some coffee and then that's it, and I'm gonna go to work. Would you say, Ron, this is another on time one? Shoot, man, bro, we have to. I'm telling you, it's selfish, but sometimes you gotta be selfish. I remember I was at church, and somebody was prophesying to me. And they were like, it's gonna come a point into your life when you're gonna have to be selfish for a season, because in order to get all that God has for you, that you have to be selfish with this thing. And I didn't like it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't be selfish. That's anti, everything I believe. But now I understand what they mean. Now I understand what that meant. That there's gonna come a point in your life. What's up, Janae? Listen, I wasn't even gonna be on here. So you'll catch the replay. I'm not gonna go through my whole spiel again. But again, this is just kind of all unplanned, unprompted. Because like I said, I had some other things that I was gonna do today. But going back to this being selfish is that you have to be selfish for a season. And you can be selfish and still love others. Sometimes being selfish literally just means saying no. You know what I mean? When we use that word selfish, a lot of times it just means like, like I don't care about nobody else's needs. I don't care about what nobody else is going through. No, that's not what being selfish means in this context. Yeah, being selfish could mean I'm hoarding everything for myself, and I don't care about anybody else. But this means that I'm caring about myself. I'm making choices that put me first because I'm choosing me today and every other day and every other day after that. Because if I know that if I choose me for a season to work on what I gotta do to get myself together, when I come back, I'm telling you, it's gonna be so much better for everybody else, right? So Men's Mental Health Month is June. And we're going to be leaning a lot into my brothers. Men, I need y'all. The ladies be rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? They on here. I love my ladies, but I also know that brothers, we have to step it up and we have to be more in our communities. I'm telling y'all, like the examples that we have that have come before us, we have some tall shoes to fill. We don't have to do it exactly how they did it, but we have a blueprint, and we take that blueprint and we build the house to the specs that we want. This is the blueprint. Yep, I like that. I like how what you did, but that ain't gonna work for me. I'm gonna take your blueprint and now I'm gonna build the house to the specs that work for me. So what am I saying? That yeah, we got some big shoes to fill, but I know that we can do it because we've seen some great examples come before us and we know that we can do it. So brothers, this month, starting today, listen, go to that website, sign up for the healing journey, take control of your mental health, take control of your emotional health. Again, the fivefold: mental health, spiritual health, financial health, physical health, and emotional health. That's the fivefold ministry. That's a fivefold mental health ministry. That's the fivefold melody ministry that we're doing, right? So let's do that. Man, I love y'all. And I mean that. But yeah, choose you. Like choose you for like seriously. Like choose you. And again, I'm gonna be on here next week. I told y'all I'm planning. I'm considering changing the format. So we'll see how that goes. Man, but I love y'all. I'm excited for this month. Make sure y'all wish me happy birthday next week. Friday the 13th is my birthday. You already know. You already know. All right, let me calm down. But I'll be 42, man. So God willing, I'll see 42, and I'm taking control of my mental health, my emotional health, and my spiritual health. Let me tell you, I'm taking control of my physical health. I got a juicer. I done bought me a juicer, like a legitimate, real cold press, like legitimate juicer. I'm about to get on this juicing. I done got a new grill. I got me a new grill, so I'm about to start cooking again, meal prepping, cooking healthy, eating healthy, juicing, because I'm ready to take control of my health. I looked in the mirror and said, bro, you got to do something. I'm going up and down the stairs and I'm out of breath. All right, it's time to make a change. So fellas, let's lead the charge. Let's be the leaders, right? Let's be the leaders that we were created to be. Let's be the leaders that we were created to be. Let's be the leaders that we were created to be so that we can lead the charge and set great examples for those coming behind us, to set great examples for those watching us. Because whether you know it or not, people are watching you. Man, it's crazy. I have people like, man, I seen your podcast, bro. You famous. First, I'm not famous, but like I seen your podcast. I like what you're doing. I'm like, I didn't even know you had a Facebook. So when I tell you, Pastor, what's up, man? I'm so glad you're on here. Chico, good stuff, Chico. Hey, man. Oh, you already know, bro, man. We out here. We have to lead the charge. Yes, I'm gonna lead you to the gym. I'm leading myself to the gym first, and then you just follow behind me, because let's just hope I get there. Let's start on the treadmill. But man, I love y'all seriously. And I want us to make sure that my fellas, I'm telling you, fellas, ladies, if you own here and you have a man in your life, it doesn't have to be your husband, your significant other, a brother, a cousin, an uncle, or somebody, a man in your life who you knows needs to take control of their mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, financial health. Listen, send them to the podcast, send them here to the video, then send them to the website and tell them to sign up for that journey. They're going to get a few emails. They're going to be able to journal. They're going to be able to prompt. Come on, man. I want men to be safe again. I want women and I want the women in our lives to feel like we are safe spaces, right? I want to create a safe space. If it's no other place that my wife should feel safe, it should always be with me. She should always feel safe with me. Avery should always feel safe with me. I'm telling you. I mean that. They should always feel safe. I should be the safest place in their life. I should be the safest space in their life. If I'm not healthy enough to manage my emotions, if I'm not healthy enough to talk through, if I'm not healthy enough to share what I'm going through, I will never be a safe space. So if you have a man in your life and you want him to be safe, then encourage him to put the work in. Man, God created us all to be great. God created us all to be great. We all have a purpose. We all have a plan we can go through. I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you. We can read Jeremiah. We can read all the scriptures. Before you were born, I formed you. I ordained you a prophet to the nations. Like we know the scriptures. God, and you know my inner thoughts, try my inner anxieties. Know me, my thoughts towards you outnumber the sand. Like we know all the scriptures. We've heard all those things in church and we've grown up listening to it, learning it. but do we believe it, right? Now that's the question. Do we believe it? Do you believe that you were born to be great? Do you believe that God called you to do something amazing on this earth? And it doesn't have to be just in church. Come on, man. It does not have to be just in church. Come on, man. It does not have to be just in church. I love church. I love showing up at church. I love being there. I love ministering. I love teaching. I love preaching. I love doing all those things. I love helping people in the church setting be set free. But I also understand that church is outside the four walls. And so anytime I'm able to talk to somebody at work, at the grocery store, anywhere I go, I understand that my ministry transcends the four walls, that I'm going to be me everywhere I'm at. So if I'm not mentally stable, emotionally stable, yes, put that fivefold, bro. I'm telling you, listen, I'm see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I'm already on it. I'm already on it. The fivefold wellness ministry. Yes, sir. We in there. We in there. And we want to be safe spaces. We listen, because it goes outside the church. Again, I love teaching. I love preaching. I love all those things. Those things are a part of who I am. Those things are a part of who some of you are, right? There are some of us on here who we know God has called us to do things within the four walls. But there are some people, especially, okay, I got a couple more minutes, especially in this day and age, when people are what we like, when people are, I don't even want to say they're walking away from God, because I talk to a lot of people. Again, that's why I say you got to get outside the church. Like, you got to get outside the four walls, and you have to really you have to be, okay, listen, you have to be open to have conversations with people, first of all. And in that conversation, we can't be judgy. These are things that I just learned, because I used to be the person, like, I'm open, and then they start talking like, you need to come to church. You need to get saved. You need to learn life to Christ. You're going to die and go to hell. And I've just turned them away. And so, in what we want to call, if you want to call it a deconstruction journey, whatever you want to call it, I call it my journey in finding God, like really finding God, like really like finding God, right? Really finding God, really finding God. Okay, I'm a really finding God. But what you start to do, you start to have conversations with people. What was I saying before that? Oh yeah, I don't believe that people are walking away from God. I don't believe that. I believe that people are walking away from structured religion. I am a proponent for the church. I stand by what the church stands for. We need ministry. We need structure. Okay, so y'all on here, don't say that I'm against church, because I'm not. But what we also need are people who can get out the four walls and have conversations with the people who are not coming into the church. Because let's just keep it 100. People are walking away from the church, but they're not walking away from God. And if we're so stuck in our ways and stuck in our minds, I don't know how we got on this, because it's all about mental health. It all works together. But if we're so stuck in our ways and stuck in our thinking, that we're not gonna lose. We've already lost a generation. Okay, like I really feel like the generation born between the years of 1980 to probably about 1990, 1992, especially them 80s babies. Like, we grew up in church. I said this before, we were there for the conception of the internet. We've seen the rise of Facebook, Instagram, all social media. We were there for the first cell phone, the flip phone, like, and then, but we also knew how to play outside, Atari, Nintendo. We had to ride bikes. If I wanted to know what was going on, I had to ride my bike to my cousin's house. You knew it was popping off when you saw all the bikes at somebody's house. I'm going somewhere with this, then we're done. So this generation, my generation, the new aunties and uncles, as I call us, like, we have the best of both worlds. Like, I know what it's like to have an all week lock in at church and be there every day and pray. I know, like, I learned how to pray, right? I used to play church. Like, I learned how to play and mock people, but I learned how to pray because my parents taught me those things. I saw people pray, right? I saw it. I went to the all night lock-ins, to the shut-ins, and I received the Holy Spirit because I was locked in at a shut-in. And my parents, they literally made me go. Okay, I ain't gonna lie to you, they made me go. But when we got there, we took it serious because we saw the power of God, right? I saw the power of God work. And if my friends, Twine was my age, so we the same. Randy, Janae, my age, like, we the same. We seen it. We saw these things happen. right? But now what's happening is that this generation is no longer seeing those things. They're seeing the hypocrisy and things that have always been there, but now because of social media and Facebook and Instagram and live streaming, they see these things. And them lock-ins used to be hype. I'm telling you, them lock-ins used to jump. I've had the funnest times of my life in church. Man, I've met some of the most amazing people at the church. I've forged some amazing friendships and relationships at church. Man, I loved it. We were so right. You're right, Jen. We were so well-rounded. We are so well-rounded, right? And so we understand the importance of prayer, fasting. We understand and this is a message that I was going to preach. We understand the importance of altars, right? Come on, man. We understand those sacred things of God, not the religious things, because there's a difference. Not those things that are so religious and traditional, like you got to wear a suit. That's religious. And I went to, not last Sunday, but the Sunday before that, I was at church and Pastor Corey preached on this about you got coming in a suit and making people sit down. And he was all in my notebook. I'm like, bro, you must be reading my notes. But we saw, right, the real power of God. I saw people get healed. Come on, man. Like I saw it with my own eyes. I saw people get healed from cancer. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw prophets prophesy accurately. And the things that they prophesied came to pass, right? I saw the miracles. We saw the signs. We saw the wonders. These things are not far-fetched. The problem now is that everybody wants to be a superstar in the church. Man, I gotta go. This ain't even my message. And so now this generation sees that, and they sees the hypocrisy. They see the fakeness. They think it's all about money and people not living what they say they're living. Listen, ain't nobody perfect, right? We're not perfect. But the reason why people are walking away from organized religion is because of a lot of things that I'm saying. They see their hypocrisy. They see the two-facedness. They see, like I was telling Randy, I said, I get more love outside the walls than I do inside the walls. That's crazy. And I'm not saying about like local assemblies, but as a broad statement that the church people are always fighting one another. And I'm like, if I'm an outsider, why would I come to that when y'all fighting when I'm already fighting for my life out here? Right? So I want us to really just do some inventory, right? If I can't be the best me for me, how can I be the best me for anybody else? So, man, I love y'all, man. I get so excited when I talk about this stuff because this is a real passion for me. I don't do this just to get on here. Like this is a real passion for me. But yeah, like we gotta have a fivefold. We gotta have a fivefold ministry, the fivefold wellness ministry, the fivefold health ministry, and we tagging that. We coining that. Pastor Corey, we out here with that. We coining that. We running with that. Because we have to be mentally rounded. We have to be well rounded. We have to be healthy. I can't just be. They say like I just can't be so deeply spiritual and don't know what's going on around me. Love inside the church walls, man, bro. Oh, dog. Hey, listen. God is still good, bro. I'm laughing, dog, because I got some. Yeah, but listen. I'm laughing. I'm not. I'm not laughing. I'm laughing with him. That's one of my boys, Suge. My boy Suge. So we used to cut my hair. We had some conversations. So I already know. But man, listen. I just want us to be so well-rounded that we can take what we do inside those four walls and take them out to be practical. And how does that start? That starts with being well-rounded mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially, right? So I'm excited for June because it's Men's Mental Health Month. It's Men's Mental Health Month, right? And I'm leaning in heavily to my brothers. And I want y'all to be well-rounded. I want y'all to be mentally healthy. We not crashing out. We not crashing out. I'm not crashing out every chance I get. I'm not doing that. To me, if you crash out every time, that is a sign that something is not right in your life. So we need to figure out how to do the work. We shouldn't just go to crash out as the first option. The first option shouldn't be crash out. The first option should not be, let me just go crazy. The first option should be, let me step back and take a moment to reflect and assess the scene and understand and see what's going on so that I can make the best choice, right? So I can make a well-informed decision. So brothers, I'm leaning on y'all this month that we're going to be the examples. We're going to be the leaders that our community needs. We're going to be the leaders that our churches need. We're going to be the leaders that our family needs. We're going to be the leaders that our spouses need. Come on, man. We're going to be some great leaders. We're going to be all those things and more. We're going to show black men. We're going to show that we are here to stay, that we are not what society wants to deem us to be, that we are not the labels that they put on us, that we are not those things, that I'm great. I have purpose. I'm called. I'm awesome. I'm beautiful. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Come on. I'm gonna say I'm a king, right? Like I'm not living beneath my privilege, but I'm going to begin to live where God will want me to live. And most importantly, man, I want us to find God for us. I've unlearned so much, and I'm still unlearning, and I'm still learning. And it is a journey. It is not a sprint. It is a marathon. I am not anti-church because I love it. I love it. But I'm healthy. I'm healthy church. I'm healthy choices. I'm healthy conflict resolution. I'm healthy pastoring. I'm healthy members. I'm healthy church, right? So that's where I'm at, man. But I love y'all, man. I know this was kind of all over the place, but y'all know me. That's what I do. I'm all over the place, especially today, because it didn't have anything specifically planned. So, yo, let's make sure that we do the work. Brothers, meet me back here. If you haven't had a chance, go to the website, www.wh2.org, sign up for your healing journey, and be the first person to do that. Be the first to do that. Sign up, get the emails, follow through the prompts, and start your healing journey. Start your journey to healthy habits, to healthy living. We popping off with the Fivefold Wellness Ministry. So that's coming. Good looking out. I appreciate you, Pastor Corey. I appreciate that. That's coming. The Fivefold Wellness Ministry is coming because that's what we about to be. We fivefold. I know evangelists, prophets, teachers, pastors, and apostles. Yeah, we got that, but we want to be mentally healthy, spiritually healthy, emotionally healthy, physically healthy, and financially healthy. The Fivefold Wellness Ministry. We got to be it. All right. So I love y'all. I will see y'all next week, 10:30. We on time. We on there. We doing it big. Tag a brother, a man in your life who could use this encouragement. And until then, man, I love y'all. You on your fifth closing, Pat. I know I'm a preacher. That's what we do. I'm about to take an offering since y'all still here. No, but I love y'all, and I will see y'all next week. Peace.